Today we'll be touching on bank reconciliations and their importance in the regular monthly bookkeeping process.
So I've entered all the activity from my company's bank account into QBO, but for some reason it seems like the balance doesn't agree to my actual bank balance. Logan, can you help me find out why?
Sure thing. When this happens, there's a good chance that an entry has either been missed or something has been duplicated in your entries. Not to worry though, QBO and most other bookkeeping programs have a function called the bank reconciliation, which will help identify where differences are between what's been posted to QBO and what truly went through your bank account.
Okay, great. Show me the ropes then.
Okay, we'll start by logging into our online banking and downloading a copy of this month's bank statement that we want to reconcile, which I've already downloaded. Once we have this, back in QBO, we'll click on the gear icon up in the top right, and then choose Reconcile under the Tools column. This will bring us to this screen, where we will enter the ending balance and ending date from our bank statement. We can also see that the beginning balance already has a figure which is based on the ending balance of the previous reconciliation.
Right. Okay, so that makes sense. But what if this is the first reconciliation I'm preparing in QBO? Will there be a beginning balance in that spot?
If this is the first time you're doing a bank reconciliation since the bank account's inception, this field here should be showing 0. In this case, you download the first available bank statement and start from the beginning. It's also worth mentioning that if your bank account has been open for a long time, but you only recently made the switch over to QBO, that your trusty accountant at Swain's will have helped you to set up the beginning balance in QBO to be the ending bank balance from the most recent year end that was completed.
Got it.
So with this information entered, we can hit the Start Reconciling button.
Now I'm on a screen where I see lots of information, including a list of what appears to be the transactions I've entered already.
That's right. Every transaction entered in this bank account in QBO, either through manual entries or through the bank feeds, are shown on this list. In addition to this, you can also see the beginning balance and the ending balance and the ending date, all which were entered on the previous screen.
Ah, I can see that. So what's the next step?
Now the fun part. With our bank statement in hand, we want to go through the bank statement and check off each matching transaction on the list in QBO. The idea is that you want to find a match in QBO for every line item on the statement. You also don't want to have any unchecked transactions when you're done, except in a few special scenarios.
So like scenarios such as,
Well, the most common one would be if you've written a check to pay a vendor and the check has been sent out, but the recipient has not yet cashed it. If you've entered the check in QBO on the date you wrote it, it will appear on this list in the bank rec, but it will be unchecked when you're finished. This is what us accountants call an outstanding check.
uh, are there any other scenarios where there will be unchecked transactions that I should know about?
The only other one would be if there's a timing difference between when the transaction actually happened versus when it showed up on the statement. This most commonly happens with credit cards since they tend to have a day or two delay between the transaction happening and when it gets applied to your credit card balance.
Right.
It's okay to have a couple transactions at the end of a reconciliation date that didn't clear until a couple days later.
Gotcha. So obviously, if any transactions are in the bank statement but not in QBO, that means I need to go enter them before I can finish the reconciliation, right?
That's right. The good thing about the reconciliation, it's going to ensure that nothing has been missed and no duplicates have been posted to the bank account in QBO.
So once I've matched every transaction in QBO against my bank statement, and there are no duplicates or incorrectly posted transactions, I see a nice green button that says finish now. I suppose that means I can click this and complete the bank rec.
You got it. Once you get into the swing of doing reconciliations monthly, it becomes easier and easier. It also helps to make sure that when you're looking at reports such as the profit and loss, also called the income statement, and the balance sheet are as accurate as they can be. How else could you trust your numbers if you've got things missing or duplicates posted to the account?
It makes sense. Thank you, Logan, for walking me through this monthly process. I'm sure this is another tool that will help me become an accounting whiz.
You're welcome.